you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Loving how you wind up for me. Tonight is all on me. Mash up the place for me. Yeah, yeah. She just wanna highlight. Ooh, that body talk to me. I need a taste, baby. Loving the way you move around me. No more delay. No, you can't wait to shut it down. Won't you show me how you work it? I can't find no flaws, you perfect. Cause every time that you come around my way, I keep falling again. I keep falling again. Yeah. And every time that you come across my mind, I keep falling again. I keep falling again. In love. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to another awesome night on 5F's to Love Network, where you guys know it is ladies' night, so we about to do it right. This conversation is huge because all of us are either moms or full-time, trying to date, balance some kids, talk about life, enjoy life, and lose weight, gain weight, keep it right, cook, all of that. And we're trying to figure out as women, how do we balance that? That's called the balancing act. Because when I talk to the men, they're always saying, we're visual. We need you to look a certain way. And all of this stimulation they need, and they require so much of our time. Let me tell you something. If I need to be all of that, I need my girls to tell me how to make this happen. So listen, you better call your girlfriends. You better share this link because we about to give y'all some secret recipes. So listen, let me bring the beat in now because I'm not going to fool with y'all. Holly was here with us last week. So I'm about to tell y'all right now. This person is a legal eagle, but not only that, she's a former podcaster. So during COVID, she broke out and just basically did her own podcast and blew it out the water. So when she was like, oh, I'll come over there, I was like, to my little network? Are you kidding me? So let me tell you something. If you didn't see the promo, yes, she's single. Yes, she's in Pennsylvania. But let me tell you something. You need to come right because Holly's not a joke. Holly, I'm going to say, you last week you was looking all prima donna. This week you come in like candy girl. Huh?
Yeah, I come different every week. You're never sure what you're going to get. You just got to tune in to see.
All right. Man, y'all know what's happening. Y'all need to know this is what's happening. And I'm going to tell you, we done had 2 birthday girls. Rhumel, what's going on? It was your birthday.
It was my birthday. Yes.
Oh my gosh. So did the babies turn it up? Did your husband turn it up?
Well, he took me to dinner and we went out, and then I went on the next day hiking with my kids, and I just had a great time.
I love that.
Yeah, that's my turn up these days.
And I love it because, listen, Precious turned it up enough for you and her. She had a huge birthday bash. I was hating on her. I was like, I want to get on a plane and come. I'm you, friend. You know what I'm saying? She was out there rocking it with the A-listers. They threw her big birthday bash, and I was like, was that a custom cake? And it was. She was like, yes, it was. I was like, that is so awesome. So, guys, let me be clear. We got somebody y'all didn't meet last week because she wasn't here. Courtney, I talked you up. I told them everybody you was a supermodel. Okay? You have to be a supermodel who got a degree in psychology. You know what I'm saying? I just told them you a supermodel, and she bringing it. Okay?
I'm going to bring it.
Courtney is bringing it. When I tell you that little flair, that little sauce, that's Courtney. So y'all better step back because, honey, she may be adorable, but she ain't no joke. She about to bring it. She's married, so she's coming from that lens. She's coming from that I am the all-American Wonder Woman type of chick. Like, she's holding it down.
Newlywed. Been married for 6 months, y'all. 6 months.
You know what? That's hot. You know what I'm saying? And y'all already know Barbie is back. All I gotta
Oh,
say, Jillian, I call her Barbie all the time because when you see her, she's absolutely adorable. She has the sweetest personality. And guys, check this out. She's a nurse. She doesn't even act like, like that's a big deal. It's a huge deal. She has multiple certifications and specializations and all of that. I'm telling you, she's like one of the hardest working moms and wives that I've ever seen. She's in the middle. We were talking and she was in the middle of setting a Monopoly board up to play Monopoly with her kids. That's why I love her. Like that work-life balance. She was showing me some of
I
that.
didn't think you
Now,
know
y'all,
that.
last week, we were all really kind of focused on. I did a shout out to my girl Roz because her mom just passed. And when I told you, it cracked me up. She was going to try to make it on the show. Well, honey, she was like, I'll be there tonight.
Right.
I'm coming in. Roz, don't be coming in cute.
Hey.
look at Roz looking like
She
a
goes, hey. Hey, I don't even know what that's about. Now, y'all already know. I got 3 phone calls. Here she is, Dr. Mac. I ain't fooling with y'all. Dr. Mac is here, so y'all can stop texting me. Is Dr. Mac on tonight? We want to know if she
Come on, I'm here.
Honey, Dr. Mac, let me tell you something. If you all don't understand, you're going to start seeing her promos coming out about her nonprofit. She is doing such a great job with these young women, educating them on their sexuality, the things that they need to do when they're going through that change. Y'all know what it is. We all went through the cycle, and sometimes the babies can't afford it. They don't know what to do. They got Dr. Mac on it. You hear me? So y'all better know, Chicago, if you need to know something about sexuality and you need a sexual activist, you better call her because Dr. Mac be holding it down.
Dr.
And I'm
Mac,
gonna
I'll
tell
be in
you,
Chicago this summer. I'll be in Chicago this summer if you go.
Yep.
Oh, you know what?
Right down, y'all go right down the street.
I'm
Y'all
gonna
are
tell
right
you
down the
right
street.
now. We have everybody keeps saying, when are y'all gonna do this live? Do you know they want to see us all sitting on sofas talking? Everybody keeps texting, when are y'all doing a live show?
Set it up.
We
Let's
gotta
do
do
it.
a live show
That'd be
this summer.
fun.
We got to do it, and we'll probably do it while we're on hiatus, and then I'll play it because that'll give us the time because we get 2 months off this summer. Everybody, if you're watching us, we do get 2 months off this summer, but we can get together. So look, let me dig in because we don't have no time to be chit chatting. We need to get it together. Listen, ladies, this is a girlfriend's night. You can grab your wine. I drink all the time. I want to be clear. I drink during the podcast. One of our sponsors is Duke and Dane in the Black Liquor Company. So, of course, I drink during the podcast. So let's say turn it up. So, ladies, the first question I'm going to ask you, and each person gets 60 seconds. I want to know, how do you define or apply balance to your life? How do you define or apply balance to your life? So, Jillian, I'm going to start with you because you've got those babies, you've got your husband, you've got work. And on top of that, you're actually going through a process where you're getting another certification or specialization. So you're studying. So how are you doing this? Because, and by the way, she always looks as cute. So I need to figure that out. So what's going on? You got 60 seconds. What's going on? Jillian, is it a delay?
Time management,
Okay,
prioritizing.
time management.
When I feel balanced, then my head isn't cloudy. When I know I'm not balanced, my head is in a different direction. I'm not present in the moment. So yeah, definitely time management, prioritizing everything that's going on. I have a full plate pretty much all the time. I try to empty it as much as I possibly can, but that doesn't always happen because it just keeps filling up. Self-care is very important because if I don't take care of me, then I can't take care of my patients. I can't take care of the people that I love.
I like that. I just want to say to her and
Can you hear
Jessie,
me okay?
yeah, Jessie and Jillian did such a great job. My schedule was crazy on Saturday, but they made sure that I had a photo shoot. And I love that because photographer was there, Jillian was there. She was like behind the scenes, capturing all the moments. I was like, this is beautiful. But you know what? It meant a lot to me because they actually created a space that I needed.
We
And it
got
was
you.
good. The pictures turned out great. And let me tell you something. Jillian looked great in every picture she took. We won't talk about that. Mine got to be Photoshop, but we don't get into that. Okay, so I'm gonna head over to you, Precious, because see, you're on the road. And so while you're on the road, you're also doing your training, but at the same time, you looking for a new love, honey. Okay, how you finding time for all of this work-life balance and keeping yourself healthy if you're on the road? What's going on?
Well, first of all, I don't subscribe to what General Society says we should be focusing on right now. So my life has never been this work-life balance. I came from being an attorney to turning into being an entrepreneur, then a serial entrepreneur, then a best-selling author on TV and all this other kind of stuff. So it was never a balance, but I don't have children and I don't have a husband. And so when I went through homelessness a few years ago and dealing with deep grief, I wanted to do all the things that they told me I couldn't do. And I didn't grow up knowing that this man was on a white picket fence. This man was going to come up. And if he wasn't going to be here, then I'm going to treat myself well regardless. And so I love what I do, speaking, teaching, and training, but I love hanging with my girls. But yeah, this year I'm looking for a new love. You're right.
Ooh. All right. So
Got time for that.
She's throwing it out there. So Roz is also single. Roz looking for a new love. She's a big executive in the banking industry. She popping collars, you know. And I'm gonna tell you, Roz always dancing. She out. She be enjoying life, and she's absolutely gorgeous. Roz, how do you do that? And by the way, she will break up any date for her grandbabies. I don't care what's going on. She be like, deuces, I'm out. My grandkids. She love her grandbabies. So, Roz, how do you balance? Because little people don't know she's a big socialite here. It's not anybody that doesn't know who Roz is. And on top of that, she does her own thing. So, Roz, how do you balance that? And also the fact that so many men are on you. Like, they're on you. They want you. Oh, Roz, we can't hear you.
Oh,
You're going in and out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to you in a few seconds. Okay. So Courtney, what's going on with you? Because you a newlywed. You just figured out the balancing act. You just got a boo cup.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, we've been together for a long time, but I've also been in school for all my life, pretty much. Got a PhD, started working. It was a lot going on. So I think I'm pretty similar to Precious, and I kind of have to define balance for myself without society intervention. I subscribe more to integration, and I feel like I'm balanced when I'm not sweaty and behind. When I feel happy, like it don't even have to be on top of stuff. When I feel happy, then that's okay. And one of the things I had to learn was, we're always worried about trying not to drop a ball. One of my professors said to me sometimes you just got to know which balls are rubber and which balls are glass, and you got to let some stuff fall for your own happiness. So that's what I'm about. I'm definitely trying to be happy, and that's balance for me.
I like that. So Dr. Mack, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Every time I hear the song "I'm Every Woman," I think about you.
You know what? That's major. That is actually like I appreciate that, and you don't even know what you said. My sorority just celebrated 115 years of service, and specifically my chapter, my undergraduate experience is layered with that song. And like when you get married or do something big in the sorority, we stroll around each other to "I'm Every Woman," and it can go from Shaka, shout out to Chicago, to Whitney Houston. So thank you.
And I feel that because like you do such an amazing job with all the organizations that you support, the public speaking that you do. I feel like you do such an amazing job. But not only that, your husband's a top priority, just like Roz and her grandchildren. Let me tell y'all something right now. She may not be on in the green room afterwards because if her husband is home, she off. It's over. we get our 1 hour and it's over with her. So I want to make it clear. You better get it in real quick because Dr. Mack be deuces.
I do. But that's how I keep balance. I think that, I was blessed to be a Libra and my birthday is October 10th. Mm-hmm. So balance and things being in order on both ends is really, really important to me. So I love to work as hard as I play, but I also respect the art of delegation. I have no need to be the leader in every single aspect of my life because, that's how you have a heart attack. So right now I'm on the podcast with you. I'm packing up my home to move and my sorors are here packing for me. There's no reason for me to say, hey, I can't be here when I actually have a support system. Should I use them? A lot of times we don't ask because we think it opens up too much vulnerability. but that's how it works. So if you have, friends and people to support you, support them. But when you need to make the call, they can come and help you have a life balance.
You know what? I love that. And TNT, thanks you for joining us. This is actually Tim from Real Talk with the Men. They chime in on y'all podcast. I'm gonna let y'all know. They said, why y'all don't chime in on theirs? They talked about all y'all.
Oh no, we watched.
It was like, how will you get? I just want to keep it real. They went off on. They was like, we chiming on theirs. He said, okay, I'm here. What I missed, Leo in the house. So that's Tim for Real Talk with the Men. Ladies, I'm gonna tell you, the men are hilarious. They make me laugh more times than I care to say about what goes on in their minds with us. Holly, what about you? Real quick, Holly, what about you?
I think work-life balance it just depends on your situation. Me personally, I live alone. My kid is grown, so I have the house to myself. So my balance is morning meditation with my gratitude journal. I start my day off balanced. I think that's really important because anything that tries to disrupt my balance at that point, I've allowed it in to my space. So I try to be very conscious about how I start my days.
I like that. And so, Roz, what about you?
I believe in work-life balance, but I also believe in we can make time excuses, right? So we can make time to do or need to do, or we can complain while we're not going to do it. So ultimately, it's up to me. And I try to set the tone for what I do on a daily basis just by, starting in prayer because I'm a huge believer. But more importantly, just as importantly, really writing down what are my goals for the day. And sometimes those goals, there are things that interfere with my goals, but at the end of the day, I reflect and then I try to make sure that I reincorporate when I need to, or just, do a change of course if need be.
Okay, everything you guys said is one of the things that I really kind of focus on. So I don't need to add anything. I do everything that everybody else is doing, literally. And some days I take my list and toss it in the trash. Why? Because I get stressed out because my day went crazy. So I took it long. Well, folks, we'll be right back after this first commercial break. When we get back, we're going to talk about what's really going on with this balance when it pertains to ourselves. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
I don't know about you, but you make me crazy. Never got your name, but you got me begging. I don't know about you, you like to pick and choose, make it all about you. Go take it all if you want. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that. Taking the lead, feeling your heat, just wanna give you my best. I don't even know your name, but you got me, 'cause you're old to die. We don't know what happens next, but you got me, 'cause I'm next in line. You make it look so easy, making me feel so dreamy. Not the one who pays for drinks, but you got me, 'cause you're old to die. Got me locked in now. Go ahead and take a shot. Do you really want me? Maybe you're just...
Hey guys, welcome back. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow us on all of our 5F to Love social media sites. So when we do post promos or we do go live, you find out in real time. So listen, we love the conversation. Each one of the ladies gave you a 60-second overview of how they define or apply that work-life balance. But now in 2 to 3 minutes, I want you guys to kind of share with us what challenges have you faced when doing that? Because I don't want everybody to think that life is so smooth. And the only thing I can say is when I was a single mom and I was going to school full time, I was working full time, and I started my business. When I say to you, I don't know how I did it, but it seemed like when some of those things started to go away, I felt like I had too much time. It's like I felt like I worked under the restraints that I'm given, and I tunneled through. And for me to be able to go through, and now at this point, 4 degrees, a kid that's 20, in college, doing well, and 3 successful businesses, I'm like, okay, well, I must have did something right? And on top of that, I didn't end up like 300 pounds at the end of the day because it was a lot of stress involved. And guess what? I was smaller when I was running around versus now.
Yeah.
I'm not doing football practice, training, after school tutoring, being your friend. I'm not doing all of that. So now I'm like, well, shoot, I got extra time. What is happening? So the thing is, what challenges have you faced? Like Courtney, now that you're married and it's been 6 months, what changes or challenges have you faced where you were just like, it was all about me, now it's all about you?
Well, I think me and my husband, his name is Bobby, we have been together for a really long time. So the dynamic between us never changed. People actually have asked, like, so what's new now that you're married? And we're like, nothing. And it's great because that's exactly what we wanted. We didn't want to enter into a whole new arrangement that we weren't used to, and like we didn't know each other. We knew each other fully. So it wasn't that. It was more so, I'll say my biggest challenge was actually finishing my PhD, because I finished in grad school and started working before I was done with my PhD. That same year, we got a house built. And then as soon as I was done, we started planning the wedding and got married. So it was like hump, 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 hump. And Christine, what you said you experienced about like, now what? I've had that the last 6 months of like, my life has been on this constant, really quick treadmill, and I've been going and had zero time to rest. I was probably at 120% capacity, and now I'm at like 75, and I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? How do I not overload myself? Because I love to be involved in my community. I love to commit myself to lots of achievements. I want to be like some of you all, serial entrepreneurs. You know, I want to do all of that, but how do I do it without going back to the 115%? That's the challenge I'm at, because right now I'm happy. I'm at rest, which is, it feels very strange to get used to. I'm getting to spend time just loving on my family and friends, and actually going to brunch instead of saying I got to work. So it's a challenge to get adjusted without piling stuff on. I think some of us are those type of achievers where we will just do, and do it until we drop. So my challenge right now is to sit still, and that's new for me.
Courtney, I say do it and enjoy it. Tim, from Real Talk with the Men, he says, don't forget to make your bed. And this, I'm going to tell y'all real talk though. Tim actually texts me every morning to ask me, did I make my bed? I hate that. The guys are on me. You know, I just want to say, working with all you different cast members, there's different things that occur to me all day from each one of you. But the guys are on me. One guy will text me, Chris, did you do your workout? What's up with your 30 minutes? Show me proof. You know, we've got Gerald from 60 to New 40 on Friday. He said, hello, ladies. You all look great. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you for tuning in.
Hi.
And TCK28, I'm not sure who that is, but thank you for your first time for viewing and checking us out. It says, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for, chiming in. We like when you guys chime in and we can talk to you guys. So, okay, so I'm about to hit you next, because I'm always impressed. Holly, you always be acting like you all laid back. Okay?
I very much am, because I've been in Rhumel's situation where I had a teenager and my day just started crazy, ended crazy. And then when I laid down, I was like, what happened to my day? So it's very different for me now. I remember saying when he left for college, what am I going to do? Because my whole life had been taking care of him, running him here, running him there, going to meet with teachers, just everything. And then it came to an abrupt stop. And I was like, okay, now I need to figure out what I want to do with my life.
I know, I feel like I went through a mini little breakdown without him, but I got over it. We're going to do real talk though. I got over it real quick. I redid his bedroom and everything. It's a beautiful guest room with a fireplace and it's gorgeous. He came back. He was like, Mom, this is how you doing it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. I had to move on. You know what I mean? I'm just being real talk. So, when you talk about juggling your time, Rhumel does a podcast. She runs her own business. She's like a super mom. And to keep it real, she said her love life with her husband is rock star. So, Rhumel, we're going to do real talk. What challenges you got? Because you need to tell us, because I need to know. I'm trying to be where you at.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, I mean, I don't think I did any of it right. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, when I have 3 kids, I used to say that I have 3 kids. 2 jobs and a husband, right? And I don't even put myself, for the longest time, I didn't even put myself in that list, right? So I am proud. Let me see. I've lost my cape, my Superwoman cape. I have proudly put that aside, and I don't want it anymore. So as my kids grow up and I don't have to chase them anymore, you know what I mean? They have their own cars and they can take themselves to their own events. I am incorporating myself more into my own routine. I'm doing things like painting, I'm doing just things that fill me up. And so I've juggled a little bit more. I put myself into that juggling act a lot more now. But it took me a long time to get there. I was squarely in my 40s before I even said, okay, this is enough. And I've
You can't be
concentrated on
everything.
changing that. I'm sorry.
That's because you can't be everything, and I love that. Like you
Mm-mm.
made a conscious decision. We can't. Our kids can't be everything. Well, folks, when we get back, I'm gonna tell you right now. We starting with Dr. Mack because she know the answer to this. I need to know, how do we keep the romance a priority in the relationship? Because I'm gonna tell you, Dr. Mack be having grown folks sleepover parties. You know, she'll do like a Casablanca night in a minute. Okay, and they dress up in full costumes. We gonna keep it real. So if anybody know how to keep the romance hot, we know who it is. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
My business. 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 My business.
Hey, thank you to everyone watching us overseas and listening to the podcast on our audio platforms, which is Apple and Google and Anchor and all of that. We really appreciate all your support. I'm really excited about these conversations that we're having and the fact that it's coming from ladies in different areas and different spaces. Because I think a lot of times we be feeling like, I'm out here by myself. But we're going to keep it real. We got Dr. Mack, though, because Dr. Mack about to tell us how to keep it real, keeping it real. So, Dr. Mack, how you keep that romance a priority over there? Because I watch your Facebook, so take yourself off mute. You on mute, Dr. Mack. I'll be watching your Facebook, your Instagrams.
Yeah.
I'll be liking your stuff.
I was on mute thinking.
You was thinking?
So first, I was thinking. So me and my husband don't have group adult slumber parties because there are industry people that do things like that might misconstrue it. If we come to an adult slumber party, no. I'm just explaining what we don't do. I'm okay with what anybody does. But if we have an adult slumber party, it's in a cabin in Aspen with our own room with other couples. And it's absolutely how we keep things spicy. we try to, or we're blessed to have like a village that keeps us accountable, that makes our relationship a big part of our overall community. And our community that stood and witnessed us take our vows, they held themselves accountable to keep us married. And so did my bridesmaids. So to be in a relationship, married for 10 and together for 20, and still have the same women around me holding me accountable to do what I said I was going to do and be who I said I was going to be. And he has those exact same villagers that keep it real with us. It kind of calls us on our shit and keeps us humble and keeps us understanding what type of privilege this is. So you can go into, I think, a marriage thinking that, you know, becoming a wife is this graduation that makes you better or makes you more advanced, and you stop listening to wisdom. You stop listening to other women and stop taking their experiences seriously so you can learn from them and maybe listen to their stories. So sometimes we get across that aisle and jump that broom and kind of run into some arrogance. And then after it settles, we lose the spice. Whether it was the, you know, the text messages that were spicy, whether you guys used to send music, whether you like, I still send my husband nude pictures regularly because he's
I know that's right.
You got to look at this same body. Let me give you some angles. And
so look, so Dr. Mac, tell them how you guys, and I love when you guys do the couple retreats. Like they do these amazing, like in their own space. Tell them about your couple retreats because I love it.
So it's really what we do for the holiday, and it was my event, and my husband came this year and hung out because I do 12 days of Christmas. It allows me to time manage the holiday season. It's no way for me to make everybody's Christmas ugly sweater situation, everybody's ball, because you love all the support. But there's some people that really make me intentional all year. Like these are the people that my call log, I see the numbers. It's not too many days that go by when I'm not feeling away. They check in on me. And at the end of the year, I throw them a party. And it is full of games and prizes and creativity. And it allows us to like let our hair down because I have a lot of friends who are the center spoke of every wheel. They are never the ones that get planned for. They plan everything. So I try to pull them and say, I did it all. You just have to show up. And I'm almost the only person in their space that just lets them show up. And of course, my husband helps me pull that off. And this year he hung out with us and it was a lot of fun. So that is one version of retreat. And then we hop around and double date. We're enjoying restaurant week here in Chicago. We got a list of restaurants that we're crossing off our list. We have our shows. Yellowstone is running our life right now. But I also, like I dress for him. You said, am I in Hawaii? No, but I'm dressed like I am. So upon arrival, I don't look like I did last week.
I love that.
He looks forward to that. And next week, yeah. And I enjoy, you know, being physically attractive and him being physically attractive. And I don't deny myself that truth. It's cool that I'm all the other stuff. I want to be fine as hell to you.
See, and this is my rule. If when I look at myself in the mirror, if I don't make my own nipples hard, I'm trying to figure out what's happening on your end. Okay, that's my rule. I just need to look at myself and be like, Christine, you hot like fire. And if I'm not feeling it, I'll be like, well, I got some work to do. Now, Jillian, you've been married for how long? Jillian, how long have you been married?
Well, and today is our 13th wedding anniversary.
Yay!
So, happy anniversary!
Yay!
Look at me, like it's a surprise.
Today, 13 years ago.
So Jillian, so how do you guys, because I'm going to tell you, you guys already know how I feel about her husband. You know, I said her husband is adorable. Okay, so I just want to keep it real. He's like a Ken and she's Barbie. I just want to keep it real. So how do you guys keep that love? Because when I tell you, they have this unbelievable love and respect for one another. It's just incredible. And it's just like, it's thoughtless. It's 100% thoughtless, the way they kind of daunt on one another and they're there to support one another. So how do you guys do that?
We talk a ton, lots of communication. We spend every single night together. After we put the kids to bed, that's our time and we enjoy it. Lots of sex. That's a good thing. I think Dr. Mack or Dr. Courtney can attest to that as far as what happens with the body when you do have sex. I mean, there's just a chemical thing that happens that you can't get from any synthetic drug that the doctors want to force down you.
Look at Rhumel smirking, because Rhumel says she can get it at least 3 to 4 times a week. I be like, Rhumel, what are you doing with all them kids and getting it? She be getting it in. Rhumel, what y'all been over there doing? Y'all been together since college.
Oh, you're breaking.
Well, you got to have fun sometime. If you don't have, if you've got all these other things to do, you got to have some fun sometimes. And to be honest with you, at times that was the only time we'd have to connect. We were like two ships in the night, kind of passing each other, because you're passing one kid off to, one person, and you're doing some other things. So, sex was a wonderful time to really share with each other when we didn't have actually time to really even talk to each other. So it kind of, in a way, kind of bridged us when we needed it to, because we just didn't have the time. We had so many things. And if I were to do it again, if I were to give somebody some advice, kids don't need as much stuff as we put them through. And I would not do nearly as much stuff as I did, because it just affected me, it affected us, but we survived it. 26 years this year. That's a good thing.
I think that's amazing. Congratulations. And Jillian, happy anniversary to you and Ken. That would be Ken Dow. I just want to be clear. So TCK said, yes, she is the guru. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Dr. Mack, your people, they just be on. Okay? they all just come on the show. Okay.
No, participation is our thing.
Okay, because they be on it. Okay, so next week, Dr. Dawn OBGYN, she said awesome. I wonder whose friend that is.
Mine. She's on my board.
You better go with it.
You gave me an assignment, Christine. I only do A+.
Okay, so Carletta, she said, okay. She was like, okay.
That's me too.
I just want to say, I put something out in chat, Dr. Mack, so let me send this invite out real quick. I'm going to be done with this. So here, and then look, she just snapped her fingers because she know her girl is over there doing them things over there. I'm about to fly in to Chicago and be on that.
Making them go.
They said congratulations, okay? We already know this Dr. Mack's crew. This is her whole crew right now, okay? She said, that's a great rule. We love Dr. Mack. See what I'm saying? That's her crew. I just want to say, Dr. Mack crew, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this ride. And so when we get back, ladies, from this commercial break, one of the things I want to talk about is, as women, sometimes we feel unloved and unappreciated. And that's even as moms, wives, grandmothers, daughters. We just feel unappreciated because we're doing so much to balance everybody else's life, to give them fulfillment. And I remember, like, with my kid, I used to say to him, I don't ask for much, but can I just get a little shout out, a little pound or something? Because all this extra effort I'm doing, my gas money, my time, just let me know that it's worth it. He said, Mom, you good? We good? I was like, can I get a I love you, that's good? Can I get a I love you, that's good? That's all I was asking for. And Midget, I talk about you on the show. So if you watching, because you always watching your mama's show, yes, I'm talking about you, Midget. Don't worry about it. And the reason why Roz is laughing, because Midget is really not a midget. He's 6'4", but no, he's my midget. He's my midget.
I love it.
All right, folks, we'll be right back after this commercial break, and we're going to talk about how some women can feel unloved and unappreciated when they're the everything. And we're going to get some extra tips and tools, because we got 2 people on here. They got some doctorates on them, some doctorates. And at the end, Preston's going to talk to you about how to make a pitch. When you ain't feeling love, she's going to tell you how to pitch your idea to your people on what they need to be doing to do you right. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Yeah, what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lies all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, ain't ships, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got shows, boys feeling like Broadway. Always look both ways, even on a crossway. Driving down Cross Bay, out town Barclays. Really on big things, came up a small way. Championship rings, baby, that's a ball game. Or she want a little bag, baby, that's small change. Yeah, that money talk. If we ain't cool, then cut me off. No breaking news, don't run your mouth. Thought it was the plug, now he running off. Thought it was a plug, now he running off. What you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the...
All right, folks, we're back. And if you didn't know it, obviously we got Real Talk with the Men on Thursday. Galen is tomorrow. Galen is like the guru of get your stuff together. He gets up in this and he rips it and then he puts it back together and you feel like a new person. Trust me, I'm on the show and I rewatch the shows to get my stuff together. I'm on it and rewatch it. But the guys, I'm just going to tell you right now, I feel like it's Battle of the Bands. So if you're watching, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow Real Talk with the Ladies because the men, they're in the Battle of the Bands right now. They want to be the #1 show this week and the ladies are like, we're not having it. I just want to keep it real. So, Brittany is chiming in. I wonder who she's with.
That would be me.
All right,
That's my STL St. Louis. You know.
Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Look, a late to the party, but you hear Britt. Don't worry about it. And y'all already know my BFF is Cook. That's Cook. I love how Precious hypes up the other ladies. I just want to say she's my BFF, but she's the one that was texting me. Is Dr. Mac on tonight? Finally, Precious made it. Is she there? First of all, this is my BFF. I'm trying to ask me if I'm here. You know what I'm saying, Cook? I'm only playing. We talk all the time. Okay, so listen, we got to get down to this meats and the potatoes on this because sometimes the balancing act leaves the ladies feeling unloved and appreciated, especially when you're married or you're in a relationship with a guy and you feel like a lot is happening, you're tossing a lot out, right? So I'm going to ask you, Dr. Shelby, what is one of the things that you would recommend that ladies do so we don't feel left out? Because me and Holly about to talk about it in a minute.
Good question. I don't know. My husband, he's a really great caregiver. Like I never feel unloved from him, but I guess
we're muting you then. No, I'm like,
I was gonna say I can't testify to this one firsthand, but
but do you know women who feel that way? Like,
yes,
what would you
I was gonna say, but the women I know who feel that way, what they do is the same thing that I do just when I'm feeling like I need something from you, which is find a hobby or community that is only for you. Like Dr. Mac was talking about her sorority, which is also my sorority. Hey, soror. Which is great. And there's so many great fun things out there. This year, I actually started pole dancing, and it is amazing. It is so much fun, and you find a whole community, and it's so many women who feel like they're not getting enough in their regular life, like not enough, and they go to the pole dancing community, and they have so much fun. Like it's so lovely.
First of all, me, Jillian, and Roz is hurt because we here in Michigan with you. You invite us to the pole dancer.
I invited Jill. Jill was invited. She know.
Okay,
I'm gonna have to invite the rest of y'all.
I'm gonna be there.
It's a good workout.
It's a good workout. So what I'm saying, all of us probably need to enroll in a little pole dancing class to get our workout on. But it ain't gonna hurt for the bedroom. I'm just speaking out for me, Holly, and Precious.
It don't hurt on that. It's really good for making you feel sexy. If you've had a hard time connecting with your own sexiness, like you just kids everywhere, school, work, all that stuff, and you just don't have time to be sexy, Pole is a great answer. Or working out in general, meditation, yoga, like those things that help you connect with your own body. That's what I would start with. Like those are the
I
good
like
things to
that.
start making you feel loved.
Okay, because I'm gonna end with Dr. Mac because Dr. Mac be bringing that music. Everybody, what's Dr. Mac gonna say? So Holly, Roz, Precious, we single. What we doing? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I need somebody to call me sometimes and tell me I'm pretty. What y'all got? I'm gonna be real. I'll be like, can somebody just call and tell me I'm pretty today? Somebody.
I'll call you and tell you that every day.
All right, thank you, darling. That's all I'm at. Because sometimes that's all I need, somebody to say I'm pretty. I'm smart, but sometimes you just want to be a girl and somebody just say you're pretty, right? So, I mean, as single ladies, this is just a real conversation. Do you ever feel that there's a missing link because we're not in a relationship with a guy, that we go through something a little bit different? We're talking about balancing our emotions.
I definitely do. So for those of you who do not know me, see, I grew up with a mom always telling me that no man would ever want me. I was ugly, I was stupid, I was all these sort of things. And so when I tell you, I never thought a guy was coming on a horse with a white picket fence. I didn't, and over the years I had, great relationships, but we never made it down the altar because I knew better. I knew this ain't gonna work. This right here. Let me exit stage left. And so when I met the love of my life, who happened to be this famous actor dude, I didn't realize how short of a time we would have together.
Precious, don't make me cry. Don't even make me cry right now. Okay.
But what I'm saying is, he was someone who, you talking about pole dancing?
Yeah.
When a man can look at you when I was 327 pounds and make me feel like a whole snack, like, oh, you want this like Janet Jackson? You want this? Oh, what's you alright? You know what I'm saying? And that was the last time I ever felt like that, right? Mm-hmm. And so have I dated since? Yes, but it's not to that intent. So I appreciate him for the passion, the energy, and the intensity that he brought to the table. So although I do a lot of great things, I am not going to tell you accomplishments keep you warm at night. I'm not going to tell you that hanging out with my friends, that I don't have these moments where, am I cute? And I'm not going to tell you people don't be in my DMs trying to holler. But what I'm saying is there's a difference when someone's around versus long distance and everything like that. So I do get told I'm beautiful and pretty today. I wish I had heard that for the 30 years before that.
Right.
But at the same time, there were things I needed to deal with me. When someone dies, that is traumatic. If you really love them and thought you gonna walk down the aisle and that will never happen in life.
I thought you said you wasn't gonna make me cry.
But what I am gonna say is the beauty that remains is I decided to focus. I had to focus on me and getting myself right. So I'm not gonna tolerate certain things. So if you're not coming correct, I'm not either.
Right.
Okay.
So how the romance I have is with myself now, and I'm like, now I'm single, ready to mingle. I'm ready. You come to the table, I'm gonna come to the table, and hopefully it'll be beautiful.
When ours stay single, I'm gonna make it neon lights. The married ladies, y'all can stay muted. Okay, Holly, what you got? What's going on with you? Y'all can stay muted. I ain't gonna worry about y'all. Y'all married. Go ahead.
No, it's kind of the same thing as Precious said. Like I grew up, I had ugly duckling syndrome, I'm gonna say. My mother was white, so she didn't know how to do my hair. So I spent most of my time looking like either Gumby or buckwheat. So when I got older and we tried to work it out was when I really started feeling myself. So I worked on some issues with my own self-esteem and self-identity, but that's a whole nother show.
Honey, that's another show. That's gonna be a show.
Absolutely. But I think it's important that every day you wake up, and I think it's Jennifer Lewis. She said, I get up, I look at myself in the mirror and I be like, and she just, every day I give it to myself because I'm not relying on nobody else to give it to me because I know what I'm worth. I know what I've been through and I know I'm a beautiful person.
I love that. Roz, I swear, if you make me cry, I'm gonna be mad at you. Just go ahead and give me a snapshot, Roz. Don't get me emotional.
No tears. Actually, I had a quite different experience growing up. I am the sixth child, the oldest of. I had 5 older brothers and a dad, and my brothers and my dad doted on me because my dad didn't have any sisters and his parents didn't have any sisters. So being the first girl, I was the princess, and they treated me as such. And people always talked about, thank God I got in line for seconds when it came to having beautiful hair. But I've always yearned to be more than just my physical appearance. So I really have struggled with making sure that I show up from the inside out. And I don't like people to dote on just your physical appearance. And I get to know people from who they are inward and then proceed with the outward appearance. So that's just me. And I, really, some of the prettiest people are the ugliest at heart. And so I just try to love on people and meet them where they are and try to have an understanding as to what's going on with them.
And before we go to commercial break, I just want to say it's so funny because I grew up originally with siblings and I was in the middle, but due to circumstances, my biological father took the other two and left me with my mother. And my parents, which you guys can't see the picture because we're in closed frame, they're the ones who raised me, which was my mom and my stepdad. But I was always told that I was ugly and unattractive and I had big lips and it was all of these things. And you know what my dad said to me? He said, "Look at you, you're such a beautiful swan." When he said that to me, it meant the world to me. Like I was like, forget all y'all. My daddy said I was pretty, so forget all y'all. So when I went to school, they was like, "Here go Christine with them big old soup lips." Well, now, honey, these things are in style and they are mine, and I'm adorable. That's all I gotta say. So don't hate the game, okay? All I gotta say is, baby is cute, and I tell myself that every day because it don't make a difference. So, folks, when we get back from this commercial break, I'm gonna ask one lady one question, and then we're going into this week's challenge because we like to leave y'all with challenges because we like to see y'all post up on our social media. So when we get back, I'm going to ask one lady one question about safe place, and she already know who it is. Dr. Mack, it is you. I'll be asking you about a safe place. A woman likes to know that she's got a safe place, and I say that because we talked about that before. And her husband, let me tell you something. He's created this ecosystem that's just stupid, where she just walks in and she's like, it's like you just take everything off and she feels safe in that space just to be herself. And that's a hard place to find. And the reason why I'm picking on her is because I love her and her husband, and their marriage is absolutely beautiful. That's the reason why. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Look at me, I'm on. 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 Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Hold up. Yeah. I'm chasing a bag, I'm racing the clock. Look at them plot, watching them flop. Used to see this in my sleep. When I ain't had shit but my thoughts in the car, I really was lost. Now I'm public with the soundscapes. Niggas floss, I'm really pulling strings for the pound cake. I see you went for a puppet in the clown face for a little wage. That shit, the talk of the town is late. Still me, I never.
Okay, I just want to say I happen to like all the commercials, not because my company PICF creates them, but because they are so awesome. And if you didn't recognize, that's 60 is the new 40. That's Gerald. He'll be on this Friday. He's going to be talking about love, life, and relationships. So before we get going, we got to go ahead and bring in our folks who are viewers. It says, I love that it starts within. Now, whose friend is Shay Gordon? You know what, Dr. Mack, you've been over there on that phone again. All right, Tim, thank you so much for watching us from Real Talk with the Men. He said, great show, ladies. Tune in Thursday for Real Talk with the Men. It's going to go down like Bobby Brown. They're so, let me tell you something. They text each other all day, quotes, inspirationals. All day they support each other. It blows my mind. I love it though. So Dr. Mack, I'm coming to you because, you know, I just kind of think that people need to understand that whole safe place thing for women before we go into our challenge and end our show. So explain to them what that means for a woman when you can give her a safe place.
It's an extreme space of vulnerability that we allow ourselves to have. They stand at the door waiting for your wig to come off so they can tell you how much they actually love what's under there. They wait for you to pull the lashes off so they can see and actually compliment your eyes that they enjoy looking at. They can crack a joke about how big your nose is and then kiss it so lovingly that you never want to change it. So when you feel safe, it's two layers. It's the internal safety, and then there's this external safety that's applied to everything about yourself that you want to change. It's just what women do. We're constantly in a state of fixing. And when you have a partner that can make you feel fixed, you understand that this is a internal project that you're giving to yourself. The person that actually loves you don't even want you to fix nothing. And when they constantly show you and tell you, receive the compliments. Don't say, you know, I just put this together. I just threw this on. Say, thank you. I know. And stand in it. But the other part of the vulnerability, because that helps out with intimacy and just being able to be vulnerable on a level that you can talk about trauma, you know, aging, finances, in-laws, culture, politics, all of these different things that make you you. If you're joining into a partnership, they have things that make them them, and you have to strip it just as quick as you take your clothes off and strip. And my example in how you curate that safe space, you have to be able to articulate what makes you feel safe so they can at least have a blueprint or some type of instructions to follow. And you have to remember what that was to be able to articulate it. The kitchen with your mama baking, was it when you watched the news with your dad? Did you watch Law and Order with an aunt? Where were you at when you felt that comfortable? So you know when you get there, this person has brought me back. And I could take all of this off just with this person, and it makes them exclusive more than the title of husband, because they only get that version of you, and it's super safe, and it makes for the best sex.
Okay, ladies, you heard that. So each person, Dr. Mack, you know what? I almost got emotional. I can't handle it. Each person, I just want you to give what you would recommend or suggest to a woman to gain balance in her life. So I'm going to talk to each of you independent of one another. Give me 1 second. And so, Roz, I'm going to start with you because you grown lady. You grown lady. Out of all of us, you grown lady. You've been married, you've been divorced, you've raised your kids, you started a new life. Give us one of your recommendations on how do we get that balance in our life? What does it help? Whether it be a safe place, whether it's feeling love, like how do we do that?
I think it goes back for me as to really understanding me and what's important to me, and understand where I need help, and being vulnerable to the right person. So just making sure that I'm very thoughtful and making sure I'm showing up as myself, and making sure I'm also understanding who I'm dealing with. So a lot of times we look for the perfect package, and that package can come disguised as the perfect package, but it can also be the devil. So just really making sure you dig deep and understanding, and ask a lot of questions. Get to know people.
Ask a lot of questions. That's really good. Okay, so Holly, you up? What's up? Because give me, I'm just trying to keep it real. Give me a second. Holly, you up? What's your tidbit for us today?
As far as self-care,
Yeah, give me one sec. You can keep talking. It's just that my system didn't want to take Roz out. It wanted to keep her on because she's so cute. Okay. Yeah, what's as far as what you're thinking, a person for balance, maybe self-care, maybe, feeling unloved, maybe it's a safe place. Like what is one of your recommendations or suggestions for a woman?
I think it's all encompassing. I think every woman knows what she needs. Everybody's needs are different. That's why we have 5 love languages. It's very important that you know what you need internally to feel good about yourself. I personally do the meditation. I live and die by it. My gratitude journal, live and die by it. I work out. I just started working out. Not a New Year's resolution, something that I'm trying to be better about. Because, girl, we all need to go to the gym. But
yes.
I'm always looking for a trainer. So if anybody out there knows one that's cute and tall and really nice to look at, I could use a personal trainer. But
Pennsylvania, if you're watching Pennsylvania, that's a shout out. Okay.
No, but self-care is important. So whether you're a mom, whether you're a wife, whether you're single with technically no responsibility but yourself, you still have to take time out of your schedule to just focus on what you need to feel good.
I love that. Rhumel, you're next. I mean, what would you recommend or suggest?
I would suggest that no matter what your responsibilities are, even if you have a million of them, you have 12 kids, you have to carve time out for yourself. It's a mistake that I know that I made. And now that I've turned that corner and I've put myself first, I've made myself a priority. I can't say first because, kids have needs, but I've made myself a priority. Oh my goodness, the amount of joy that I'm able to find by myself and with others. I'm able to enjoy my husband more. I'm able to enjoy my kids more because they see me happy. It's just.
And your sex life is greater. I'm keep it
Well,
real.
If you're happy and you have a spouse that listens to what your needs are in the bed, oh my goodness, it's amazing.
Okay, well, don't be jumping on one of our shows. That's a whole show.
That's a whole show. Right, yes, you're right. You're right.
Show.
It's a whole show.
Well, look, let me go here. Because, see, Courtney, what's up? And just to let you know, everybody who's still watching, if you can like whatever social media site you're watching us on, just click the little like for us. We would appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, Courtney, what would you leave everyone with?
I would say to find things that fill up your cup. I know people use this, you can't pour from an empty cup, and I don't exactly look at it like that. But I will say the key to balance or integration or whatever you want, happiness, find things that fill you up, like things that are for you, that give you joy. Sometimes your kids give you joy and sometimes they take all of your energy. So you have to recognize at what points are they pouring into you, like what do you have that pours into you that you can hold on to. So right now for me, it's finding a hobby. I haven't had a hobby in years and years. My husband and I actually started dancing for our wedding, doing like an urban fusion. It has been so fun to share a hobby with him. And then I said, I got a hobby by myself too, which is pole dancing. So finding those things that fill you up, they motivate you, they push you to keep going. Like those are the things that get you through the hard days.
Well, I'm about to tell you the single ladies, we get on that pole dance, so we do get with somebody. We're gonna get exercise and know some routines, okay? We own it.
And get some sexiness for you too.
That's what I'm saying. We own it. So Jillian, come on, Barbie, give me what you got.
Oh, they stole all my answers. So I agree with all of the ladies there. So I was gonna say meditation, finding time for yourself, maybe also being alone in nature. You got to find time for yourself. Be alone with yourself, because if you don't get to know who you are, how do you know what you want? If you don't know, you don't know. Like, just try new things. Or what I meant to say is, we don't know what we don't know. And stop people pleasing. You have no one to please but yourself.
Yes.
Because I think we've put so much pressure to make everybody else happy, but we get lost and forget to make ourselves happy. So I like what Courtney said is fill your own cup, do the things that you enjoy. If you like painting, paint more. If you like running, jogging, being out in nature, canoeing, kayaking, anything that you enjoy, do more of that. It will make you feel so much better and happier and be more balanced when you remember to take care of yourself first.
I love it. You know what? It's not being selfish, and you're right. It's not being selfish. It's just doing what you have to do to make sure you're good with yourself. Precious, I'm gonna tell you right now, we need a 30-second pitch. We need to pitch ourselves into what we doing. What's up? What you doing? You got okay, take yourself off mute because you about to give it to us. Come on. You need to give us our pitch. The pitch to be like,
I am not. What I'm gonna do is just say this. Do y'all know the Billy Joel song For the Longest Time?
Yes.
Where he says, if you say goodbye to me tonight, there will be still music left to write. And so for me, what I've been discovering about myself is I forgot how nice it is to touch, hold hands.
Oh my God.
Hug.
Why are you trying to make me get emotional?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I need to fill my cup. I love what I get to do. But I'm going to tell you, hold the hand, PDA. Listen, I want to go ham and cheese like I'm a 14-year-old. But just being able to have this intimacy, I can just look at you. Like Dr. Mack was saying, I don't have a wig to take off or anything like that. But when I close this door, we go with ham and cheese on each other. And I can just be me with nothing on. And that requires me to dig deep in myself and say, there's no one else I have to be but me. No Instagram thotty. But again, hold hands, look each other in the eye, and hold on to each other. That's what I want. Ham and cheese.
All right. Well, folks, you've heard it all from the ladies. And what we're going to leave you with is with our challenge. This week's challenge is post on the 5Fs to Love social media sites 30 to 60-second video on how you're managing the balancing act as women. We just want you to post a 30 to 60-second video on how you're balancing the balancing act as women. Thanks again for joining us this week on the 5Fs to Love Real Talk with the ladies. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're giving the guys a run for their money. We'll see you next Tuesday. And trust me, the topic will definitely be hot. Make sure you check out our promo and like all of our social media pages. See you next week.